Yeah, that's one thing where it's like, on one hand, I've really grown to enjoy the UFC because of exactly that. Every 3 months, there's a championship belt up for grabs, if not every month, in the different weight divisions, which is great. But then also, there's questions about how much control Dana White has, and is it a little bit too much control? Is he underpaying them? So it's kind of that give and take where, you know, it makes it difficult. But that's one thing where I think a lot of people, especially my age, coming into starting to watch boxing or UFC, a lot of them are going towards UFC, myself included. Not because boxing is doing anything wrong, just because of the best fights are always happening in the UFC and they're promoting them so well.
Mate, sidetracking a little bit, but to further explain that, I was away with the wife a couple of years ago, and we might have been in Thailand, and there was a boxing heavyweight title and a UFC heavyweight title on back-to-back days. And I thought, oh, this is going to be great. What a, go and have a beer in Thailand and watch the fights. In the UFC, it was the number one versus the champion, as it should be. It's a world title. In boxing, it was the champion versus the 151st ranked heavyweight in the world.
No way.
And this was on the same weekend. And I said to the missus, this just sums up where both sports are at. We've got the two best in the UFC fighting each other, and we've got a pushover in the boxing. Same weekend, really, really crappy look for boxing that weekend.
Yeah, it goes to show. Do you think there's a path out to improve that sort of thing, or?
Mate, there is not. And if anything, boxing will only get worse in that the more organisations, the more titles, the more regional titles that mean absolutely nothing. You and I can go and register the Will Boxing organisation tomorrow, get a couple of $4,000 championship belts made up, and we could start going to promoters saying, for $6,000 sanctioning fee, you can fight for this title. And that it's a business. That is all it's about. So I think it's actually going to get worse in boxing. There is no way one governing body will ever work because it's just gone too far. And that's really sad, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is sad. So you can't see someone doing what Dana White's done in UFC for boxing.
Too many stakeholders earning, 8-figure sums. They just wouldn't let it happen.
It's so entrenched. Yeah, that is sad because I like both sports. But yeah, it's frustrating. But I mean, at least if you purely just enjoy some of the good fights, maybe not the title fights, if you just enjoy boxing for the fights that are on, there's still plenty of entertainment to be had.
Exactly right, and that's what I do, mate. I try and keep my mind clear of the frustrations and the aggravations of boxing. I really enjoy the moment the bell rings for the duration of the fight, the politics and the garbage and the BS that goes on in boxing. I couldn't care less about, but when it's fight time, I still love it.